The WNBA season kicked off on Friday. Steve, I will give you the floor first because I know where I want to go.
We're
What
talking
stood out to me the
aces. Let's
most?
not. Let's just talk
Uh,
aces. Come on, come on, come on. Give the people what they want. We don't have to do this anymore. Becky Hammond is coaching, and I will give you your due. The aces look different than I thought they would. The defense is what stood out to me. They are flying around, active on the perimeter. Help defense is there. They are cutting a whole lot of things off. That's allowing them to run out in transition. They're playing free. The half court offense. Do you want to talk about it yet, or are we going to let you glow a little bit? Because
it's
it's a little grit and grindy. I'm just going to throw it out there.
they got some kinks to work out. I think that's a fair thing to say. I'll give you that one.
But they got the spacing, they got the mindset, they got the tempo. Kelsey Plum is unlocked, playing with absolute freedom.
Mhm.
I'm intrigued.
I too am intrigued by this Aces team that a 113 offensive rating through 2 games. We're going to see how that ebbs and flows as the season goes on. 2 game sample sizes aren't something you build from statistically, but that's a fun note. They are playing a little bit faster than they did last year. I was curious to see what the Storm matchup on Sunday was going to look like because playing the Mercury on paper, that's a good test. But with the pieces they were missing, it was a little bit easier for the Aces to find the flow offensively. Though you can still see the skeleton of what they want to do. As you mentioned, the spacing is night and day from what it was last year. And watching Asia Wilson and De'Erica Hamby operate above the break as screeners, as handoff hubs, as post hubs, and be able to really stress the defense in that way without someone just being parked in the paint. Like that's just a different look and made life easier for everyone. So we get to the Storm, who are better defensively than this iteration of the Mercury. We'll see what happens when they get their full cast back. But better team, more available team, more aggressive scheme. So I want to see just how much the offense for the Aces would be bogged down. And this is where some of the half court kinks come in at because the Storm were able to pressure them a little bit, show more aggressive help, take away some of the gaps. But even with that, fast forward to the fourth quarter of that game, the Aces were able to get stops, were able to run out in transition. They were able to find some stuff in early offense. And that's ultimately where they want to be. And I'm glad you brought up the point about the defense. They are flying around. They are playing pick and rolls a little bit more aggressively. And a big part of that naturally is Asia Wilson playing the five. She's more equipped to play more aggressive coverages than a Liz Cambage or some of the other bigs that they played alongside Asia last season. And so from a process standpoint, I enjoy that. And they've executed again 2 game sample, so you don't want to look too deeply into it. But I have enjoyed what I've seen on that end so far. What I'm keeping an eye on is how Asia's going to hold up as the season progresses, because she is going to face some pretty large centers. Like the Lynx, we'll talk about them a little bit. Like they aren't anywhere close to the full. They don't have their full assortment yet at all. But they do have Sylvia Fowles. Like, what is Asia going to look like in a month when she's had to play bang with some of these bigger centers? Is that going to affect the offense? Will we get to a point to where foul trouble comes in with Asia? And if so, what do they do now? Because they are currently carrying, I think, one true center on the roster right now. So I want to see what's going to happen when they hit that little bit of adversity. But again, from a process standpoint, I love the added defensive pressure. I love the improved tempo in the half court. I love the improved spacing. You mentioned Kelsey Plum being unlocked. I am here for Jackie Young right now. Like being able to get out and transition, obviously flourishes were. And when you have Kelsey Plum unlocked, when you have Aisha Wilson, when you have some of the high-low chemistry that you can get to with De'Erica Hamby, when you have Chelsea Gray who can operate and pick and roll or bail out for you, who are you putting on Jackie Young? Like you have a lot of threats you have to worry about before you get to, oh, right, here's Jackie Young who can just put her head down and get to the basket almost anytime she wants to. Pull-up jumper is improving for her. I am excited. I am excited to see what this group looks like moving forward.
You're too excited.
I could simmer down like it's fine. But the Aces were my primary takeaway naturally over the weekend. Also, quick shout out to the Los Angeles Sparks. I mentioned Liz Cambage a little bit during the Aces portion. Liz with the Sparks giving them an interior presence. Not a great game against the Chicago Sky, more than made up for it against the Indiana Fever. Um, I've enjoyed Jordan Canada starting point guard. That has been fun. Again, going back to the Chicago Sky game, watching her battle it out with Dana Evans was a blast. I just like the fact that Jordan Canada has her own team right now. It was kind of, I guess, the third guard for the Storm teams, naturally.
Not anymore.
Yeah, she took over that game against the Sky. She's always been a really good slasher, solid playmaker, really good point of attack defender. So seeing her get more of a role, have more responsibility on her plate, and see her handle it in the way that she did in that opener was fun to watch. How are we feeling about the Mystics?
I feel okay about them. Where are you at?
I'm intrigued. One, nice to see Elena Delle Donne back. Only played in the opener. Maintenance, kind of a scheduled rest in the second game of the season for the Mystics. But the first game, she played the Fever. So you take a little bit of a grain of salt. This is a very young, very, very, very young team that gave her a bunch of single coverage for some reason. Poor Alyssa Smith had to defend Elena Delle Donne in her first career game in space with minimal help. I'm not sure how we thought that was going to go. But at any rate, EDD at the 5 was fun. She held up defensively. And if she can hold up defensively, I don't know how you guard her on the other end. Even with the time off, can take you to the block and blast you, can shoot over the top of you, can get to her fadeaways, pick and pop threat, pick and drive threat. You add in the dynamic that she has with what Natasha Cloud is doing and what she brings to the table as a slasher. And now she's bombing threes all over the place. You add in the slashing and the shooting ability of Ariel Atkins. If you have all of that working together with EDD at the 5, what do you do with that exactly? Like, this is what kind of makes the Mystics one of those sleeper like picks in the league. Honestly, if they're at full strength, they're able to stay healthy. That's going to be the real key for them, because it's nice to see them now, but health is kind of derailed in the last 2 years. But if they're able to stay healthy, like, that's a team that can score with just about anyone. And they have good perimeter defenders as well. Again, it's going to kind of boil down to what EDD does as an interior defender, how she operates in space. But that's a fun makeup. I am intrigued. Beyond that, I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say, you just gonna skip over to Liberty?
No, I will leave that to you. That is your that's your squad. I'll let you rock. Impressive win over the Connecticut Sun.
Just gonna skip over Sabrina and Tasha Howard 2-man game.
Oh no, yeah, tell us all about it.
Wickham full court pressure. We're gonna skip over Big Mama Steph getting stops, throwing the X up. Gonna do that? We can save it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, this is
Liberty season's here, buddy.
There it is. I was I was waiting on the energy. What's going on? Also, I just want to see the links, like the actual roster, because right now it's
what's wrong right now?
They're missing virtually all of their talent right now. It's Sylvia Fowles and good luck creating offense. It's kind of the move right now. And that's just, I mean, it's just kind of an unfortunate circumstance in terms of availability. Like, this isn't who they really are. But 2 blowout losses to start the season is not what I would like. And in light of, again, mostly a roster / salary thing, but going to the season opener with them, you cut Crystal Dangerfield as part of, your reason to bring Odyssey Sims into the mix, and Odyssey Sims misses just about every shot she throws up in the opener. That's not a great start to that era, or a great restart to that era rather. But we shall see. We shall see.